Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm filming this video in anticipation of going to the Hermes sample sale in New York City. I'm not sure yet if I'm going, but if you're watching this video, clearly I went. And the only reason is that the lines in New York City for these sales in the past have been outrageous. I have never gone to the sales in New York City. I have passed by them. The lines have been several avenues long. In the past, there were days where people have waited for 7 hours only to be told that they weren't going to get in that day. So, to be honest, I'm a little afraid of even trying. However, I watched everyone's London sales videos and the stock was just so good. So to me, the London sale looked pretty civilized compared to what I've heard about the New York City sales in the past. I'm off from work that day anyway, and if it doesn't work out, you guys will never see or hear about this. But just to keep myself honest, I'm not normally a sample sale shopper, and there are tons of sample sales in New York, and I don't usually go to them because unless I'm looking for something specific, sample sales are a great way to accumulate stuff that you didn't want in the first place. You're just buying because it's a really great deal. So even though it's Hermes and one of my favorite brands, if I'm going to the sale, I have to be strategic and have a list of things that I want to buy so that it's very obvious to me if I'm picking up other things that aren't on this list. Those are impulse purchases and I should consider putting them back unless they are absolutely making my heart hit opera level notes. Let's see if I'm able to find any of these things at the sale. So first up are shoes, and this is a big category because people were scoring unbelievable deals at the London sales. So if you watched my 10 items I'm surprised I don't own video, you will know that luxury sneakers are something that I really want, and there are a few pairs that Hermes makes that I absolutely love, and specifically I'm interested in the Hermes Buster sneakers, which I saw were included in the London sales. So it would be great if they had these exact sneakers at the New York sale, but even if they don't, I'm interested in that style. So essentially simple, plain black sneakers in the Hermes technical fabric. So one thing I've noticed in trying on Hermes sneakers is that their leather sneakers aren't super comfortable, whereas the ones in that technical fabric are really dreamy to walk in. So I would really like these Buster sneakers, but if they don't have those, hopefully they have black sneakers in that technical fabric. I would love a pair of Hermes riding boots. However, I've heard mixed reviews about their comfort. I did see on Instagram that in the London sales, they had a pair of riding-like boots with a thick rubber sole, and the Kelly lock was black. So if they have these at the sale, I would absolutely get it. And finally, for shoes, I'd like a pair of black sandals. So this is irregardless of an Hermes sale. I have one pair of flat black sandals. They're beautifully made Italian leather sandals that I've had for over 10 years. I got them at a Barney's sale, but they are on their last leg. I've had them resold multiple times, but it's time that I get a new pair of black sandals. So since I'm going to the sale anyway, why not try to find a pair? I'm not so interested in the Orans. I have a pair of gold Orans. I love them, but I feel like they go with everything, so I don't really need a second pair. If I were to get Orans though, they would have to be black, but also they would have to be special in some way because I don't really feel the need to have a second pair of just regular Orans. Next up is ready to wear. I would love to find a beautiful sweater or a cardigan at this sale. I doubt that anyone can try on anything, so I will stick to those categories because anything very fitted or anything like trousers, you'd really have to try on in order to know whether or not it will fit. Whereas a sweater or a cardigan, you can pretty much eyeball and figure out whether it'll work for you. Next up are scarves and shawls. Again, if you watch that items I'm shocked that I don't own video, I am really shocked that I don't own an Hermes Cashmere Shawl. So I'd already planned to put the Three Graces Cashmere 140 centimeter shawl on my wish list for next year and probably get it in January or February in either the light gray navy blue combination or the light beige black combination. combination. So I love the giraffe pattern, but I'm buying this shawl to wear as opposed to frame. So I'm not really that concerned about what the shawl looks like opened up completely. I'm more interested in how it looks draped. So that being said, any shawl in those neutral colorways in the 140 centimeter size, white, black, beige, gray, blue, I would be interested in getting if I like the way that it looks draped. Next up are hats. Hermes makes beautiful hats. Again, I mentioned this in the items that I'm shocked that I don't own video. I'm going to pop up a picture of 3 hats that I tried on the last time I was at Hermes to pick up my quota bag, and I promise that video is coming soon. They didn't have my size, which was probably for the best because with the exception of the baseball cap, which I would have absolutely have gotten had they had my size, but the other hats were so expensive that even though I love them, the pricing was just a big no for me. So if I can find any of these hats half off, I would absolutely get any one of these. Last up, and I know this is super random, but I saw that they had swimwear included in the London private sale. I'm totally in the market for a bathing suit, and because of bathing suit material, I can be pretty flexible about size. My size is a 36 or 38, but in a bathing suit, I'd probably be fine with anything from a 36 to a 42 because they stretch so much. I also wanted to mention that I do have a budget set for this sale. I do not want to spend more than $2,200. And if you think that sounds oddly specific, you would be right, but I do have some reasoning behind that number. And that is, as I mentioned earlier, I plan to buy the 3 Grace's shawl early next year anyway, and I was also planning to buy those Buster sneakers. So for those 2 items with tax, I would be spending about $2,200 in the next 3 months anyway. So essentially, I just diverted the money that I would have been spending on those 2 items, and let's see what that $2,200 can get us at this sale. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not even sure that I'm actually going to the sale. But if I do go, I am filming this before I even go to hold myself accountable so I don't end up with a bunch of useless crap that I just bought because it was so heavily discounted. So here's a list of things that I am determined no matter what, I will not get. If I buy any of these things, please feel free to hit your caps lock key and yell at me in the comments because these would be, without a doubt, impulse purchases. The first is silk scarves. I love cashmere shawls, but I do not enjoy wearing those smaller silk scarves, never have, and I refuse to buy them just because they're less expensive. Secondly, Twillies. You guys know how I feel about Twillies. I don't like them. It is highly doubtful that they are going to have any neutral colored Twillies at this sale, and that's really the only way that I'll buy a Twilly, so no Twillies for me. High heels. I don't wear high heels, and when I do, the few pairs that I already own are completely sufficient. And finally, costume jewelry. I have a few click-clacks. I don't need any more. I love their CDCs, but I don't really feel the need to own one, and if I do, it will be in a very specific colorway, and it's highly doubtful that they are going to have that at the sale anyway, so all costume jewelry is completely off limits. So wish me luck at the sale, guys. If I do go, I may try to film a little bit of vlog footage. It is highly doubtful that I'll be able to film anything inside the sale, but if I do manage to vlog a little, that's what you'll see next. Okay, so I've gotten off the subway at 34th Street. You can see Madison Square Garden in the distance, down to 33rd Street to the Soffer Haskin building. And initially, when I saw the line, I thought, oh, this isn't so bad. What I didn't realize is that to the right of me is a parking lot right where this fence is, filled with at least 200 people. And here you can see the hordes of people. On a side note, if you're a lover of bags like I am, there were some beautiful bags on this line. Chanel, Louis Vuitton, YSL, Bottega Veneta. One woman had the most beautiful lizard Kelly. I don't think I managed to capture it. This line just kept going all the way down 33rd Street. It's still going. This line was outrageous. We've turned a corner and Amazingly, it is still going. I'm gonna turn the corner again and it's still going. So you get the point. So this was when I finally made it to the parking lot. And at this point, people were exhausted. But at least you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Once you were in the parking lot, the wait was about 2 hours. And this was when, hallelujah, I finally made it to the coat check. So I'm back from the sale. Hopefully I was able to capture some footage of just how long the lines were. I waited for 6 hours. It was pretty brutal. I did not get any footage of inside the sale for 2 reasons. We only had about 40 to 50 minutes to shop. And secondly, every time someone pulled out their phone to take a picture, security was right there telling them no pictures or videos. Nevertheless, I'm sure I could have captured a little bit of footage, but I really didn't want to waste any time trying to do that. So let's get right into the unboxing. I will tell you the prices, and when we're done, I'll tell you if I think it was worth it and whether or not I would do it again. So let's start with shoes. They did have the exact pair of boots with the chunky sole and the Black Kelly buckle that I showed you. They didn't have it in my size. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to get invited to the VIP sale the day prior, and I think all of those boots in the smaller sizes probably got sold on the VIP day. But I did manage to get a few things that I'm really excited about that I had on my wish list for the sale. So here's the first item. These are a pair of sneakers in that technical fabric that I told you about. It's super comfortable. I got them in a 37.5 in black, just as I wanted, and they're super simple, not a whole lot of bells and whistles. I'm very happy with these. I'm not sure you can see that. It does have Hermes in leather at the back. I have mentioned in the past that I do not enjoy entire brand names written on clothes or shoes, but this is tonal and super subtle. I'm not even sure anyone would even notice that it's there. Hermes is also written right here, but it's the same deal, super subtle. So again, I don't think anyone would even notice that. So clearly these are not the Buster sneakers that I showed you in my wish list, but I'm very happy with these, and these are the style of sneakers that I wanted. I'm not sure you can see that, but they were half off $900, so these were $450, and they're called the Run sneakers. And these are the only other shoes that I got. There were lots of beautiful heels, other kinds of boots and sandals in my size, but nothing that I was so in love with that I wanted to deviate from my wish list. But these were both on, but not on my wish list at the same time. You'll see what I mean. So I did manage to get a pair of black sandals, which were on my wish list, but I also told you guys that I wasn't so interested in getting Orans. However, my caveat was that if they had black Orans that were special in some way, I would consider it, and these were just that. They are the velvet goatskin with the palladium studs. There's the Bride de Gala print on the inside. Interestingly, I got these in a 36.5. These seem to run a little larger than the regular Orans, so they fit more like a 37, which is my size. One of my dream Hermes bags is a Black Kelly Cellier with palladium hardware, and I feel like I'm manifesting that bag with these shoes because they would match perfectly. These were half off $810, so unlike the sneakers, which aren't on the Hermes site anymore, Hermes still currently sells these Orans, but they're now $860, so the savings on these were a little over 50%. So these were $405. And that's it for shoes. And next up is this beautiful cashmere shawl. It's called Le Caban. I'm not sure you can see that. It was $550, so half off $1,100. I did find this in a different colorway on the Hermes website. I started to rip this off, but then I decided to keep it on for the video, as are all their cashmere shawls. This is 70% cashmere, 30% silk. The colors are Blanc, Ankh, and Indigo. So definitely in the colorways that I told you I was interested in. And most importantly, it looks beautiful draped. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Dior Toile de Jouy print. So here's a bit of it. Hopefully you can see it's huge. So I couldn't fit it all in the frame, and the Hermes is cleverly disguised in the corner. Okay, I am super excited about the next couple of items. I got the Atlantic cap. This is the exact baseball cap that I tried on the last time that I was at Hermes. I couldn't believe that they had the exact one in the exact color at the sale. Very happy about this. And best of all, they had my size, which is small. And I think I mentioned the only reason that I didn't buy this from the store is that they didn't have this in my size when I tried it on. So this was half off $370, so I paid $185. It does have the logo embossed. This is as luxurious as a baseball cap gets. So I was thrilled that they had this at the sale. And last up, I would say that this is the item that I am the most excited about. This is the Tulum Panama Hat, which looks pretty much like the Malo hat that they currently have on their website. And again, the store did not have my size in this hat, but miraculously, they had my size at the sale. Even if they had my size at the store, it was just too much money for a hat. It's still pretty expensive even on sale, but it is the dream to wear. It is so sophisticated. If any of you go to the Hamptons in the summer, you will recognize this hat. It is a Hampton staple. It's something that you buy once and it will stay in your wardrobe forever. It's lined with a beautiful Hermes silk. The price was half off $1,200, so $600. Again, really pricey for a hat, but at half off, it's pretty comparable to the price of the Gucci straw hat that I was looking at, mostly because the price of the Hermes one was just so expensive. So to be able to get the Hermes hat, which I liked better anyway, at the same price as the Gucci one, that was a no-brainer. The fit of this hat is amazing. The details are so pretty. You're not going to be able to see this, but etched into that little palladium button, it says Hermes. So in case you were wondering, I did go over budget, but not by much. I was $197 over budget, but you can see for the price that I had planned to pay for just the shawl and the sneakers, I was able to get a lot more at this sale without compromising and getting things that I didn't want just because it was cheaper. But all in all, it was worth it for me, but I had some very specific things that I was looking for, and they just happened to have a few of them, but they could have just as easily had only one or even none of the items that I wanted. I'm not sure it would have been worth it otherwise. Would I do it again? I'm not sure I have it in me to wait on a line for 6 hours ever again. I would definitely do it if I got a VIP invite, although I will say it didn't really feel like 6 hours because you meet people in line, you start chatting. Clearly you have things in common since you're both willing to stand on a 6-hour line for Hermes. So in that aspect, it was fun, there was camaraderie, but 6 hours is just a long time to be standing on your feet to wait for anything. If I went again, I may not go on the first day, but if anyone went on the second day, I'd be curious to know what the selection was like later in the sale. I will say if you saw posts on Instagram or watched vlogs and hauls from the UK private sale, you would be very disappointed by the New York sale. The selection was not nearly as good and the wait was 10 times as long. So because of the time limits, I didn't even have time to go into the swimwear, the ready to wear, the home section, but they were really strict about that 40 to 50 minute rule. And when your time was up, security looked at your wristband and made sure that you got online to pay. So maybe you could finagle an extra 5 minutes, but not much longer than that. I did waste some time looking at jewelry, even though I said that I didn't want any jewelry. So if I do ever go back to this sale, I would do things differently and manage my time better. But let me know what you think of the items I did get. Did any of you go to the sale? What did you get? Let's chat in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. That would make my day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.